how do you think Canada is faring in the vaccine rollout?
Well, right now it feels like we're not doing very well, and I think the stats would show that to be the case against other countries. We've got countries like Israel, for example, that's been doing great. The UK has also been doing great. The US is moving along as well, although a bit more scattershot. So here in Canada, I think we're all frustrated at how slow it's going. That said, the next couple of weeks, February into March, things are going to pick up in terms of the vaccines arriving in Canada. And the big thing that's going to be that we need to be watching is ensuring that the provinces are ready to receive these vaccines and get them out and get those needles in arms, because we're going to see several hundred thousands vaccines every week going in across the country, and provinces need to be ready to deliver that to people as soon and as quickly as they can.
Okay, Brock, what do you think? Are we behind in the vaccine game? Do you think Canada can catch up? And is this why we're seeing a lot of spike in cases? Is this going to help reduce the cases?
I think we jumped the gun. We got that first batch really early in late December, and then we're back to where we're supposed to be with no vaccine coming in. But I think Canada's problem is that in a few months, if we don't get the population vaccinated, the world could be talking about a Canadian strain. And we could become the laughingstock of the world if the other countries even thought about us. But I think our real issue is that the Trudeau Liberal government in Ottawa is having a tough time delivering on results. No one cared during the majority government when they couldn't get legislation passed and things moved through Parliament. But now that they're focusing as the executive of Canada, they're really struggling to get our vaccines in the hands of our provinces. And it's going to start to show when we don't have the population vaccinated and next winter starts to roll around, and we may not have this resolved until summer 2022.
Vonny, what is your thought on the matter? You live in Toronto, if I'm correct. What is the sentiment on the ground? Toronto's a very densely populated city. Are people there desiring the vaccine? Are they upset that they haven't had enough of a rollout yet?
Look, I would say there are two varying segments of the population here in Toronto. You certainly have some folks who are excited. They want this vaccine as soon as possible because they view it as their key to economic stability. And then you have another group of folks who are very weary of it. They don't want the vaccine just yet. They feel like it needs to go through far more testing. So we're seeing different groups of people with different opinions. I would say this, Toronto is, of course, one of the most important hubs here in Canada. It's key to our economic stability. And I think that we really need to work hard to make sure that people do get vaccinated, at least if they want to have that option. And we're falling quite far behind. And I think that's quite disappointing.
Elliot, there's been some concern about that there are Canadian companies, and we only have half a minute left, but what about a Made in Canada solution? Should we have pursued these Canadian companies who suggested that they had a vaccine for us?
We should have been pursuing this option years ago. And I don't fault any one government for party affiliation on this one. This is the kind of thing that a federal government needs to be investing in. These are the type of strategic investments that governments need to be looking out for. And unfortunately, we didn't do that in the past. We've done that now. The Prime Minister made an announcement just a week ago on this. Some companies in Quebec and I believe on the West Coast that will allow us in the future to be able to do this. But certainly this is a challenge for us not being able to produce our own vaccines here in Canada for sure.